Commissioners, the next item on the agenda is item 8. It's an application for a certificate of appropriateness, Borough of Brooklyn, docket number 19, 1978. This is 860 St. John's Place, located within the Crown Heights North Historic District 2. This is a Romanesque revival, Renaissance revival style row house designed by Frederick L. Hine and built in 1898 to 99. The application is to legalize facade and areaway alterations without Landmarks Preservation Commission permits.
Good afternoon, Victor Timonek Preservation staff. 860 St. John's Place, Crown Heights North 2. This is an application to address violations at the building. I'm going to go through the presentation for the owner who is here today. On the left, we have the 30s tax photo. The center is a photo a couple months before designation, and then here it is last year in 2016. Like Jared said, it is Romanesque Revival, Renaissance Revival, 1898 to 1999. This is, again, the photo prior to designation. And then address the violations. The first one is for alterations to the facade, including enlarging the ground floor window openings, patching select locations of the base, and stuccoing over rusticated brickwork in between the basement and parlor floor, this area. The second violation is for lowering the areaway, doing replacement paving, and then installing new ironwork. There's also an operable gate at this location. The third violation is for replacing the windows at the basement and parlor floor. The fourth is for replacing the door and the surround, and then the light fixture, which you can kind of see cropped off on this location here. And then the final violation is for resurfacing the stoop and replacement of railings at the stoop itself. This is a photo showing the decorative stonework at the parlor floor, which was parged over. And then these are some photos showing context. This is one sister building on one street over. And then these are similar buildings on the row, 856, 864, 870. And then here's a general shot of the street. As far as addressing the violations for the windows, the applicant is proposing to install wood brick molds and then paint them all brown, including the top floor. For the door, both at the basement and at the parlor floor, they'd like to maintain those but paint them brown. For the areaway, they would like to maintain the regrading and also the railings, but they're open to maybe modifying those to more closely match what was there before. And then the facade, they're proposing to remove the coating, the gray portion here, recreating the parged over details at the parlor floor, and then also continuing the brownstone work at the base, which is partially done at this point. And the owner is here if you have further questions.
Are there any questions?
Yeah, I've got a question.
Yes,
What was
Mr.
the parging used? Is it a Portland cement material?
My name is Alex Rodriguez. The question was whether it's Portland cement,
Yeah.
and the answer is I don't know. Are you referring to this?
Yeah. Was it in a bag
I'm not
that
the
was
contractor
mixed with
for that.
water?
I don't know the answer to your question. I wasn't privy to the mix.
The problem is if it's Portland cement, they're probably not going to be able to get it off without destroying the stone underneath.
Yeah, we thought possibly maybe just recarving the details into.
The question, actually.
Yes.
Victor, is this doorway on the ground level also part of the legalization? You didn't mention it because the door above was mentioned, but not this door.
The bottom, I think I can answer that if you'd like. The bottom door was a steel door that was rusted out with a small portal type window, and we replaced it with that
Yeah.
other steel door.
So the door existed, but the replacement was done,
But is that part of the violation?
It is,
Yeah.
yeah, the violations for both.
both doors, okay.
All right, any other questions?
Oh, that's a metal door?
Okay, we'll take testimony. Kelly Carroll?
Hi, I'm speaking on behalf, or instead of Kelly, I'm Patrick Waldo from the Historic Districts Council. One of the great advantages of owning property in a designated historic district is being able to call on the experienced staff of the LPC. In this case, some unfortunate alterations were made that could have been prevented, but it is not too late to benefit from the staff's guidance to rectify those issues. HDC would particularly recommend that the applicant work with the staff to find a more suitable door for this charming house, such as the example provided at 856 St. John's Place. Additionally, HDC recommends a closer inspection of the windows at the parlor floor and the stucco over the band of brick spandrel below the parlor floor. Proposed alterations to these elements appear to be contextually inappropriate and should be modified before approval. HDC also recommends returning the ironwork to its original height. Thanks.
Thank you. Are there any more speakers on this item? Community Board 8 recommends disapproval of this application. All right, do we have any other questions? Okay, we can close the hearing. All right, comments?
Well, I think the door is completely inappropriate, the one on the top of the stairs, and that's got to go. The fence, I think I agree, has to be adjusted in height, as well as the framing is too heavy, so it's got to go back to something that's more similar to the style of the original fence. Those are the two things I think sort of jump out at me. And the second door as well, something's got to be done about that as well, underneath the stairs. I don't know what will be appropriate for that location, but that's got to be changed.
Okay, other comments?
I just would agree with what John just said, but some of the other proposals to rectify the violations seem reasonable to me. I don't know, except working with staff, about the removing of the coating. I mean, that's going to be a wait and see. Right.
Yeah,
right.
that's a dicey, huh?
Okay. Other commissioners okay with that? Yes. All right. Ed?
This is regarding 860 St. John's Place, Crown Heights North Historic District 2. This is an application to legalize facade and areaway alterations without Landmark Preservation Commission permits. I note that the building style, scale, materials, and details are among the features that contribute to the special architectural and historic character of the Crown Heights North 2 Historic District. I further note that the application of a cementitious coating at select brick and stone features has resulted in the obscuring or loss of some decorative detail, and that the missing details will be re-exposed or accurately recreated in consultation with staff. I recommend approval, noting the following, that the lowering of the concrete areaway and construction of an additional brownstone stucco step at the base of the stoop has not resulted in damage to or loss of any significant architectural features at the areaway. That the new 1/1 double-hung windows at the basement and parlor floors, which were installed without LPC permits, match the historic windows in terms of their configuration, operation, and details, and will be given profiled wood brick molds and painted brown to unify their appearance, and that the newly paneled metal and glass door below the stoop, which was installed without LPC permits, will be painted brown and will be in keeping with the style and age of the building.
Two doors.
or working with staff, I would say, on that lower level. Isn't that what we said? Yeah, to find an acceptable replacement if that's not an adequate. That's below the stoop. Yeah, okay. So working with staff, I would say there. We also recommend that the parlor floor entrance infill be modified with a new wood door with base paneling and more substantial glazing, and additional trim to the at the transom, or be replaced with a new full-height wood and glass door and wood surround to approximate the historic configuration, materials, and details as seen at other buildings in a row, and that the areaway railings be replaced with thinner framing elements or modified to remove the heavy top railing and utilize a smaller single gate in front of the open side of the areaway.
Okay, second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Application's approved.